Time to make a start on the frame for the pulleys now. I'm going to call this one a prototype, and if it's successful I may well build a much stronger frame for it using ball race bearings for the axles, but for now we're just going to use some brass square section tube, mainly because I happen to have some, and that's what's going to be the support for the axles. And I've got a couple of square section aluminium bar here, which is just happens to be the same size, and that'll all bolt together, and then the pulleys will go on basically something like this. Oh. And the input and output pulleys will be on the other side of the square section brass tubes, and then this will all be upright and mounted on a wooden base. That's my theory. So, well, we're going to give it a go. Now I'm going to do the drilling on the mill because it's small, very small bits of metal, and the mill's much more precise at drilling holes than the drill press is. So I'll film a little bit of it, but it's basically just drilling holes and tapping holes, so it's pretty boring stuff. Well, we're set up in the mill, ready to drill the first hole in the cross piece. Now, normally you'd use a spot drill for this. I'm using a centre drill purely because it's much easier to line the centre drill up on the markings I've got on the end of the cross piece. So we're just going to go in with the centre drill to start with, and then change that out for, I'm going to use 2BA screws to hold it in. I think that's a 4mm tapping drill. So here we go. Turning aluminium, so of course it goes in real easy. Right, I'll swap that out for the 4mm drill, and we'll get that hole drilled. Got a tapping drill in there. Now I'm not going into any specific depth, I'm just going to do it by eye. Just needed a reasonable amount of depth to get a reasonable amount of threads. That's it really. Okay. Alright, there we go. That's almost certainly deep enough. I'll swap that out now for the tap, and we'll come back and start the tap off using the mill. I'm not going to actually power tap it. I shall just turn it manually, but just to get it going, and then I shall remove it from the chuck, as I said before, and take over with a tap wrench. Well, I've got my 2BH tap there in the chuck, and we'll just take it down, get it to bite a few times, and then I can remove the collet from it and take over with the tap wrench. Once it's started, it'll stay upright on its own, so don't worry about that too much. So it's only aluminium, so it's dead easy to tap. Right, let me remove the collet. Now I should be able to wind that off of the tap. And I can get in there with a tap wrench, finish it off. Just come back out a little bit. There we go. So got the tap wrench on now, and I'll finish it off. That way I get feedback and I can feel whether the tap's binding up. Now obviously in the position it's in at the moment, I can't turn the tap the full distance because it's coming up against the column at the back, but we've finished all of the precision maneuvers now on this end of that bar, so that I can simply wind it out like that to give me some clearance, so that I can actually rotate the tap to the full extent, and off we go. Right, I'll finish that off and then repeat it 3 more times, and I'll come back when we're ready to. I'll drill the holes in the brass bars off camera because that's dead easy, it's simple, and I'll come back when we're ready to assemble the actual frame. The frame's done. I spent from about 9:30 this morning till about 2 o'clock this afternoon fiddling around with this, getting it done, but it does take longer to drill holes on the mill, obviously, but you do get them in the right place, which is the important thing. So yeah, it's all gone together very nicely. I've drilled a couple of holes in the bottom joiner block there to allow me to mount it vertically on a wooden base. I haven't made the base yet, but I think I can put it together roughly so we can have a look at it, you know, as it's going to be, and also see what kind of reduction we're going to get with it. Well, here is the monster on the turntable. Obviously it's not finished yet. I'm just using the engineer's clamp to give it some stability so I can stand it upright for you. But it's operational, so we can have a look at seeing and see what kind of reduction we get through this 3-stage unit. I'm hoping it will be enough to slow the engines down to run the automator. These Meccano cogs, they're not going to be on there. They're just there temporarily to stop the shafts from moving in and out. I'm going to make up some little bosses with some grub screws to fix that. This Meccano pulley is not going to be used. This one might well be, but this one won't. I'm going to make up a proper pulley for this, and I may even make up a proper pulley for this. So this will be the input. This is the drive in, and that's the drive out. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'll close in on it for you. You know, I'm quite pleased with it. It's turned out pretty much how I hoped it would, and I'm hoping it will do the job. I want to give it a nice heavy wooden base so that it's got some stability, but yeah, it's okay. I think it's going to do the job. So what I'll do is we'll let it come around in full circle, and then I'll close in on the input and output pulleys and see what kind of reduction we're going to get with this. I mean, obviously you could work it out if you know the diameter of the pulley, but it's just as easy to put marks on the input and output pulleys and see what it does. So all right, we'll stop it there. Okay, and we'll close in on the pulleys. Off we go. So input, 1 revolution, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. 13 revolutions of the input pulley gives us 1 revolution of the output pulley. So we've got a 13-to-1 geared down ratio, which is excellent. I'm very, very pleased with that. That should do the job and hopefully allow us to run the automator nice and slowly from one of my engines. So yeah, that's great. So that's what I was hoping to achieve with this. Obviously I've still got some work. I'm going to make up some bushes. I'm not too happy with the little stub axles. I've used Meccano ones, but they're not that good. So I might make my own stub axles out of some mild steel rod. And obviously I've got to make a wooden base for it. And then once we've done that, I'll actually try it with an engine, and we'll see how it works. But no, I'm happy with the progress so far. So it's very simple, nothing too complex, but I think it will do the job. Well, the 3-stage reduction unit is finished. Well, I say it's finished. I'm waiting for some silver steel rods to come to make proper axles for it. I don't like those Meccano axles. They're not at all good shape, shall we say. Fine for Meccano, but you know, their size tends to vary quite a bit. But apart from that, it is done, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Actually, it turned out all right. As you can see, I've junked the Meccano pulley. I didn't quite like that. I thought it would have been much better to have a pulley which was either brass or aluminium, and as I was having such success making pulleys out of aluminium, I've made it input pulley out of aluminium for it, and I think it looks a lot better without the blue. So yeah, it's done. So I guess all that's left then is for us to see if it actually does the job it was designed to do. As you saw me when I was demonstrating it, it obviously does work. We got a 13:1 reduction, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, so let's try it with the automator. The moment of truth. Will the reduction gearing be enough? Will it slow down the hit and miss engine enough for us to run the automaton at the sort of speed that it really should be running at? Well, we'll just go again and find out. There has been a slight update to the transmission unit. The bit of silver steel rod I was waiting from eBay has arrived, and I've made all new axles for the pulleys. So let's get the hit and miss engine going and see what happens. It's working. It's actually working. Amazing, brilliant. This is what I hoped for. I really did hope that this would be what we get. So move the lights around a bit. Yeah, it's perfect. That's exactly what I hoped. The automator is operating at the sort of speed I would really hoped it would run at. That's oh, it couldn't be better. I'm just over the moon about that. It works basically. I don't want to put too much tension on the belt, so I really need a little bit more tension on the belt. But it's working! Yay! Obviously, I want to run it from a steam engine. That'll be the next test, but it works. We're getting the down gearing that I wanted. Brilliant. Oh, I'm so pleased about that. That is fantastic. Oh, it's just brilliant. That's just fantastic. Considering that everything on there apart from the screws is made. I manufactured it, even cast the aluminium that the pulleys are made from. Oh, it's just, but it does the job. It's fantastic. Now, hopefully, he won't get quite so tired now as he was before. Oh, it's just wonderful. Good old retro Locomo Sterling kit, B01 hit and miss engine, fantastic bit of kit. And if you're wondering why I use this initially rather than the steam engine, it's just because it's much quicker to get it going and there's far less prep to do. So I wanted to try this thing out, and this was the best way to do it. So there you go. The 3-stage reduction transmission unit works as well as I hoped. It's just fantastic. It does the job lovely. And of course I can use it with not just the automator, I can use it with other accessories and run it from other engines and all the rest of it. So that is just fantastic. As you can gather, I'm really pleased about that. Okay, let's switch it off because I'm running it indoors and it is a bit smoky and starting to smell the fumes. So, yeah, brilliant. Okay, roundup. Thoughts on the transmission unit. Well, first of all, it does what I want it to do, and I'm well pleased about that. Could it have been built better? Yes, obviously. I could have used ball race bearings and made a completely different frame for it, and that would be much better from an engine standpoint. And also, again, the engineer guys out there amongst you are going to point out that these holes in this square brass tubing, they will wear very quickly, unfortunately, and that's not good at all. So because I know it functions and it's operational and it's doing what I want it to do. I'm going to upgrade it, and I've splashed out and ordered some 1/2 inch square brass bar, and that's going to replace these tubes. So that will be a much more supportive bearing for the axles. So that's the first upgrade for this. But like I said, because it works, I may well redesign a frame for it using ball race bearings, because the pulleys can all be taken off, and I've got plenty of silver steel rod. I can make more axles and everything. So the pulleys were the hard work on this. So yeah, definitely might consider rebuilding the frame. But for now, this thing is working and I can use it. So yeah, I'm well pleased. So I guess that would be about it really for the 3-stage transmission unit. I hope you enjoyed the series of videos on this thing from concept to actual realization. And yeah, as always, thanks very much for watching. Cheers.